Are you planning a trip to Lisbon, or do you just love learning about Portuguese cuisine? Today I'll show you some top dishes to try in Lisbon, and restaurants where you can go and check these dishes out. The first dish you'll want to try when you're in Portugal is barbecue, specifically piri-piri chicken. Known as frango assado, this delicious spicy dish arrived in Portugal in the 15th century when the Portuguese colonists brought back chili peppers from their voyages. At Frangasqueira Nacional, this is a one-woman band here with Sonia running the shop, manning the grill, doing all the cooking and the cleaning. So expect to wait a little bit of time for your meal. But trust me, this is worth the wait. I actually ate here a few times on my trip in Lisbon, and the second time we went early, so the wait was a lot shorter than the first by about an hour. Sonia makes a delicious barbecue chicken and asks you how spicy you'd like it before dousing it in a fresh piri-piri sauce. The ribs and sausages here are something to savor, and they have great pasta or potato salads as sides. It's a wonderful local restaurant experience, so if you don't mind waiting and maybe getting questioned for how much food you're ordering, it's a wonderful place to check out. The chef and restaurant owner Sonia is so funny. Sometimes she'll just start randomly singing, and she wears a very big and poofy tall chef's hat. You have to check out this restaurant. It really made my trip. If you want to try another local restaurant with a family-owned feeling, go to Sabores na Travessa. It's an affordable restaurant that usually only had locals there, except for, well, us at least. It was located just off the busy club and party streets of the Bairro Alto, and it's a quiet and traditional restaurant that gives you a true glimpse into Portuguese home cooking. I love their octopus salad, and I must have eaten about 9 of their bifanas over the course of our trip. Bifanas are pork sandwiches with a citrusy garlic marinade over the meat and crunchy bread rolls. They're actually meant to be kind of a dessert sandwich to finish off a meal, but they worked as a whole meal for me. The rice here too is fragrant and has a delicious taste of oil, and the caldo verde soup is a must try. The soup is full of greens, and it's some of the only veggies I ate on my trip. If you want to try the iconic pastel de natas, I suggest you head to Manteigaria. These pastel de natas are traditional pastries with a buttery, flaky crust and a creamy custard-like filling. These are wonderful for breakfast, especially with some coffee. Manteigaria is a chain, so it'll be easy to find one of these, and the quality of the pastel de natas is consistent throughout all the locations. It's only €1.10 to try each of these delicacies. What I loved about Manteigaria is it's kind of like the Benihana of pastry spots. You get to watch them making the pastries here, and you can see every step if you come at different times, like we did, often going 2 or 3 times a day. You could see them pop them out of the oven, making them fresh daily, and of course make sure to sprinkle on some powdered sugar. Now, there's kind of a pastel de nata war here with Pastéis de Belém. They claim to be the first to ever make these traditional pastries, so we had to try out both. Pastéis de Belém, I love that they come with little packets of powdered sugar and cinnamon, and they also had a huge array of other pastries here, from cakes to savory snacks. I will say I am more team Manteigaria. Maybe it's because my American taste buds crave sugar, but Pastéis de Belém has a more traditional, almost eggier taste, kind of like a Chinese egg tart. I definitely recommend trying out both because my friends actually like these a bit more. It just depends on your taste. Also, I love that they had a huge variety here. It's really a great place to try a bunch of different Portuguese pastries, and they had a lot of seating in the back. I would definitely recommend trying out the pastries here when you're stopping in Belém. There are some wonderful things to eat and see in Belém, and I would especially check out the Tower of Belém and the monastery. I'm making a full video about my recommendations for a day trip in Belém, so make sure to subscribe to stay tuned. I definitely recommend visiting. It's super beautiful, and there's a lot of details to see. Also, they stagger the crowd, so it's not crowded at all, and it's just really peaceful, and it's really nice to walk around here. It's cool, and we get shaded from the sun. All of the details are what really makes it beautiful too. You'll see, like on the trellises, there are different kinds of animals on each one all around the cloister. So I recommend not only visiting the church, but also visiting around here. It was €5 for students and 10 for adults. The carriage museum is also a really cool find, especially if you're really into cool carriages. We stopped by a bit to do some doodling for the day because I ate a bunch of food, and now on to the next restaurant recommendation. Yes, one of my restaurant recommendations is on the Pink Street. So you might think, Sophia, how can I take you seriously? That's such a touristy spot. Well, you're right, but when you're a tourist, sometimes you just want to be just that. Soli Pesca is an adorably themed restaurant that serves up sardines. This is like the rainforest cafe of sardines. The fish theming is adorable and immersive. This place would be heaven for humans and cats alike. There are many different tinned fishes up the wazoo, and it's great because you can try all these different kinds of sardines with recommendations for wine pairings and guides for the kind of flavors you might like lemon, olive oil, tomato, and more. Take a picture of the packaging and you'll know what you want to get when you're shopping at the grocery store, which can be much cheaper. This place is so much fun. Make sure to get a side of bread with your sardines and really just savor that fresh oil and chives they put on it. Now let's go to Time Out Market. Yes, another touristy destination. It's great because again you can try a very wide variety of different culinary delights all under one roof. Then you'll know just what you like throughout your trip and you could try it all, check off those boxes. There are a myriad of different food stalls to check out here. There's beautiful Iberico ham, there's one that just sold the most delicious looking pastries, and there's also a beer stand if you're into that. Somehow we went here and managed to eat the only American themed restaurant in the whole marketplace, but I have no regrets because it had a Portuguese twist on it. They made these donuts here that were better than any I've had in the States. It's a passion fruit donut that we got, and I could taste the passion. Yes, they put candied lemon peels on top of it and a zingy passion fruit icing. Also, this thing was huge.
I don't know if it opens more than that, but this is identical. And we got the passion fruit. It looks amazing. Oh dang. Oh my gosh. The frosting's actually not completely dry. Donut. Whoa. It's all over my face.
We totally crushed this donut. It was actually so amazing. Those are also lemon cake crumbs on the top. Had a lot of attention to detail here, so I definitely recommend checking out the Time Out Market if you just want to get a variety of different fun foods to try in Portugal. We also went to the Tile Museum after, which is really, really neat. Great to learn about the azulejos and the traditional art. A Peradinha do Paraíso, I'm so sorry for that pronunciation, but this restaurant had some delicious fried sardines. I had been looking for this dish throughout the trip. It's something about the sun and the salt water in Portugal makes you crave sardines and bread, and makes you want to eat olives and lay out tanning in the sun. So this restaurant had just what I hoped for. I'm usually almost vegetarian, so seeing these sardines come out whole was a bit jarring, but they were delicious.
Remember how we were gonna share that?
The sangria helped me forget I was also eating a whole fish's body as well, and the rice and beans here had great seasoning. Plus, this restaurant is near the popular flea market, and there's a great view up the hill. They have great bread and cheese here, as well as appetizers. In Portugal, note that they bring appetizers to your table and leave them there, but that doesn't mean they're free. If you don't want them, feel free to push them to the side of the table, like me pushing off all the things that I have to do today. And the appetizers are usually pretty cheap and delicious, so don't feel bad accepting them. The next thing you'll have to try in Lisbon are some amazing baked goods. Here is a very, very cute pastry shop where I got the most adorable little rabbit pastry. Confeitaria Nacional is 180 years old, and when you visit, you'll see why it's been able to stay in business so long. They have adorable pastries, and the interior is just beautiful. I felt like I was in a bakery that Disneyland bakeries are based off of. Just like how they base the castle off of Germany's Neuschwanstein, this is what they base the bakeries off of in my mind. It's a long way to say the interior design here is adorable. It's grand and regal, and you'll feel that way when you eat there. When you're in Lisbon, you'll definitely want to try some Mozambican food. It's not something you can find often in LA, so I definitely wanted to go and seek it out. Cantinho do Aziz is a very famous spot in Lisbon on the ancient streets of the Moorish Quarter, and they have a smoking lamb dish, as my friend said. Personally, I ate the passion fruit mousse here, which I found really light, fresh, and delightful.
It's a passion fruit mousse.
There I was defending my mousse. It was really good. I'm wishing you wonderful and safe travels on your trip to Portugal. Please let me know what foods you are most excited to try in Portugal, and please let me know if you've actually been to Lisbon, what restaurants you'd recommend people go and support and try out. If you're planning your trip to Portugal, I have more videos on the topic, including day trips and other foods that you don't want to miss. Make sure to subscribe and check out that playlist here.